In past videos, we've talked about the importance of internal controls and a company code of conduct to preventing fraud. In this video, we'll talk about what a company code of conduct is and explore what it really takes to establish an ethical culture in the workplace. We'll also discuss how employees perceive ethics at work and how social media criticism fits into the mix. When is it protected speech? And when could it get you in trouble? You may have seen a company code of conduct. It's that document that outlines the company's ethical principles, standards, and the do's and don'ts of behavior. Here, for example, is the Marriott's Code of Conduct. It covers the basics such as expectations and responsibilities, including responsibilities of leadership, confidential reporting, and no retaliation. But it also covers many other topics such as acting with honesty and integrity, interacting honestly with the government, and protecting the company's assets and reputation, protecting and respecting customers and associates, as well as promoting the greater good. For larger companies especially, the code is part of onboarding. It's often handed to employees and contractors when they join and annually refreshed during compliance training. This ensures that everyone is on the same page when it comes to what's right and wrong in the company's eyes. Think of it like the company's ethical rulebook, clear, concise, and important. The code of conduct isn't just about following the law. It's about creating guidelines for what's right. But here's the most important thing. Ethical behavior must be championed by top management. When leaders walk the talk, it sets the stage for everyone else to follow. To create a true ethical culture, organizations need to first establish clear policies on ethical conduct, starting with that code of ethics. Then roll out an ethics training program that empowers employees to make ethical decisions. Ideally, the company would also appoint a chief ethics and compliance officer to oversee the ethical compass of the company, although that is not always feasible for mid-sized or smaller companies. Then the company would ensure internal audits are used to investigate whether ethical standards are being met, implement whistleblower policies with anonymous hotlines and reporting outlets, make ethics statements a part of the workplace culture, and gain commitment by getting employees to sign it. The company should also enforce the policies fairly and reward ethical behavior as part of the performance evaluation system. There you have it, the building blocks for a culture of integrity. Philosopher Albert Camus once said, "Integrity has no need of rules. People with integrity do what's right even when no one is watching." However, it's better to have a strong infrastructure for integrity in place where strong leaders set the example and provide the ethical leadership for everyone to follow. Have you ever felt pressure to cut corners at work? Then it might not surprise you that a record number of U.S. workers say they feel pressure to cut corners when it comes to ethics. 87% of employees indicated that their workplace does not have a strong ethical culture, and although 57% of employees reported ethical misconduct, almost half said that they were retaliated against when they reported their ethical concerns. So what can companies do? The key is making integrity a priority, creating an environment where employees feel safe to report misconduct. Foster a culture of openness where ethics are rewarded, not punished. Ensure that employees don't feel pressured to do the wrong thing, and create systems where retaliation isn't tolerated. And speaking of pressure at work, who hasn't vented about things that annoyed them at work? I definitely have done that from time to time. Typically, you'd probably talk to friends and family about it, but what happens when employees want to vent about ethical issues or misconduct on social media? The National Labor Relations Act, NLRA, comes to the rescue, protecting employees' right to discuss workplace issues together. Whether or not they belong to a union, employees are allowed to voice their concerns on platforms like Facebook, X, and Reddit. and they're protected from retaliation for it. But here's where it gets tricky. If an employee comment is personal, like a rant on their own account about how terrible the workplace is, that isn't protected speech. It's just a personal gripe. But if the post is a group discussion, such as a few employees commenting on the same issue, it becomes protected because it's now considered a concerted effort, meaning they're voicing concerns as a collective. Take Marriott, for example. In their code of conduct, they state that employees must avoid any communication, disclosure, or interaction that might disparage, defame, or damage the company. They remind employees that anything shared on social media could reflect on the company, whether it's from a business account or a personal one. That means everything you post could have an impact on your colleagues, supervisors, or even customers. Be mindful of what you share because it's not just your words, they can affect the company's reputation too. This slide shows two different organizational responses to negative employee social media posts, and that difference is the real lesson. In the Campbell Soup situation, a former employee posted a highly critical video about working conditions that quickly went viral. Many people expected the company to sue or aggressively respond. Instead, Campbell did not file a lawsuit and publicly stated that it respects employees' rights. From an ethics and compliance standpoint, this response reflects an understanding that employee speech about working conditions may be legally protected and that overreaction can create more risk than the post itself. Now, for Tesla, there have been several situations where Tesla has taken a more aggressive approach toward employees or former employees who publicly criticize the company. These cases often involve claims of confidentiality breaches or policy violations, but they also raise concern about whether legal action was being used intentionally or not as a deterrent to employee speech. That aggressive posture has drawn regulatory attention and reputational risk. And the key takeaway is that the ethical and legal issue is often not the negative post itself, but how management responds. This is where the distinction between a personal gripe and a concerted effort matters. Speech that discusses wages, hours, or working conditions, especially when it invites others into the conversation, may be protected even if it casts the company in a negative light. From an ethics perspective, organizations face a choice. Respond in a way that discourages openness and trust, or address concerns while respecting employees' rights and minimizing retaliation risk. As future accountants and business professionals, students should recognize that silencing criticism may seem the more obvious choice. But it's important to remember that it could also create unintended ethical, legal, and reputational consequences. I hope you found this video informative and it helped you understand the importance of a company code of conduct handbook, the related ethics training, and how to differentiate protected speech and concerted effort from a personal gripe of a current or former employee.